Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about some garden things, potting up some things, and just all the fun stuff that I feel like it's finally time for. So let's start with some fun things. Let's talk about some seeds. So I recently placed an order with So True Seeds, and it was a little bit of an emotional shopping journey, and I got a few. And then over the last couple stores I've stopped at, I've grabbed a few more. I also ordered from M.I. Gardener. I got a few other seeds. They haven't come in yet, but I will share with you what I got from him. So let's talk about what I got. So we're gonna start with So True Seeds. First, I got some hot cayenne peppers. I just love their little pictures on them. I got sweet, Orange King. It's just orange bell pepper. I got Cherokee purple, which I love. I grabbed Tromboncino Squash. I've always seen other people grow these. I just think they'd be super fun. I got Cocodel Zucchini. Look at this little illustration. I think this is cute. Way cuter than the actual picture. I love it. Moon and Stars. Watermelon. It says red on it. I grew a couple of these last year. They didn't get very big. I had squash and vine borer issues, but I'm hoping with some seeds we can do those. So I just start mine outside. I don't do any inside starts. I grabbed Calendula. I actually grabbed 3 of them. It is their Efferter orange. So 3 of those. And I grabbed Nasturtium, Dwarf Jewel Mix, Forage, and Milkweed. Now I know from M.I. Gardener I got a squash of some kind. I'm second guessing myself. I know I got borage. I think I got more nasturtium. I think I only got a few things. I will list somewhere here on the screen what I got from M.I. Gardener. It was just a few. I know I got the Arkansas Traveler tomato, which I want to get because that is bred for more hot weather. We're fairly similar to Arkansas weather, but some tomatoes just don't grow good here because we get so hot and so humid. So I'm hoping a tomato that's maybe a little bit more conducive to warm weather might be the way to go for me. I'm trying to find like the staple tomatoes. I want to grow some fun ones because they're fun, but I also need to grow some staple tomatoes to get tomatoes. All right, now fun other squash. I grabbed, they call them Scallops Squash, but patty pan squash. I've always bought them as starts, and I don't know why. I've never thought to actually just buy the seed. So I saw the seed, I grabbed them, the white ones. At the Dollar Tree, I grabbed Helichrysum and poppies. So I grew up in Southern California. Poppies were everywhere just naturally, so it's never occurred to me to buy the seed. So they're 4 for $1 for their seeds, so I figured why not? Just don't eat the seeds in your apple, okay?
Okay, I don't like it.
Eat around the apple. You just don't eat it in the middle. Eat around it. Flip it over and eat the other side. There you go. All right, now I also grabbed, my daughter picked out these Cosmos. We already have Cosmos started, but she had to have these ones, which is okay. They're cute. I found Calendula in store. I've never been able to find Calendula in store. That's why I bought some online. But then I bought these from Ferry Morris and these from what's the brand? Back to the Roots. I bought a few things from them and they've all germinated really good. There are these organic seeds and I found them at Walmart and Home Depot now. And they're great. What I really love is the back. They have this little QR code and you can scan it and it will give you like a step-by-step planting guide for these seeds. So I thought that was just super cool. So we got those and I got some more echinacea. Now I do have little echinacea starts couple of them going from a pack we got at the Dollar Tree for $1. I figured, you know, why not try it? But then I saw these there, and so I grabbed them. I figure their seeds are probably a little better than the Dollar Tree ones. So we're gonna see how it goes. I didn't realize, because the seeds from the Dollar Tree really had no information on it, but it can take 300 to 365 days for it to bloom. I had no idea. So I'm going to try to do this and see how it goes. So there's my little seeds. It's a decent pile. I already have 2 seed organizers, so I finally purchased a couple of things off. I got them off Amazon for seed starting. I said I wasn't going to this year. I was just gonna use the cheap stuff, but I've had to pull out some seed starting things, and they're just so sun rot and they're so cheap that it's not working. So I grabbed some just heavy duty seed starting trays. So I got a pack of 5, and I'm hoping it will work with some of my other seed starting stuff I have now. Just make it work. Next year I'll get like maybe another 5, and 10 will be good. Now I also grabbed some of these pots. I grabbed 2-inch pots. I don't know why I was thinking in my brain 2-inch. 2-inch is plenty. 2-inch is probably not plenty. I need something like a 4-inch pot for tomatoes and some other things. But my brain didn't work that way, and I got 2 inches. 2 inches aren't that big. But one nice thing is you can do 5 across. So I'm gonna put some of my new seeds, some of the seeds I did get, I do need to start ahead of time, like the Calendula and the Echinacea. So I'm going to do some of those in these instead of, I can pull out this little guy right here. This size. These are just so narrow and they taper down. These are at least fairly big. So I think transplanting into some of these will be fine. So, you know, you win and you fill. But I got those. So now what do I need to transplant? I have this tray and these tomatoes. These tomatoes are looking so sad. So my tomatoes really need it. They need to be watered too, but I'm waiting till I transplant them. So I'm going to transplant these guys. Now I have been using like 6-ounce little clear cups to transplant into, but I'm out of those, and I honestly thought I didn't need them because I was buying these. So I'm going to use these little guys for transplanting what I can, but then I also went in my greenhouse and I found some of these left over from prior garden seasons. These ones are 3 across. I have bought tomatoes and stuff in these before. So I'm going to use what I can in these, specifically like my tomatoes and maybe some tomatillos. My peppers will probably have to get potted up one more time. So I might try to transplant them in these. I have some smaller peppers, but then I also have like celery, and I believe this is catnip. So since these are small, they'll do fine in those 2-ounce trays for now. And then it will make it a little easier to fit things in, and I can start transferring things to these heavy duty trays and not so much these super flimsy things. So I'm gonna pot some stuff up, and I can show you how I do some of them. Some of them are super easy. All right, with some careful Jenga, I am able to get I have 9 of these 3 guys and 2 of the 4s. And then I filled it in with all these little pots. So I was able to get 16. So for the most part, it's the best use of our space. So I'm not gonna quite plant all of those guys yet in the little ones. I want to get, before I knock all my stuff off, I want to pot up my tomatoes first. So I do it on a little tray to help keep me somewhat organized. These are my Super 100, and if you've never up-potted a tomato up-potting I think is the easiest because you don't have to be all that careful with them. So to start, I pluck them out and I massage the bottom before grabbing them ever so gently. Sometimes they come out nice, sometimes they don't. I mean, look at those little roots. Aren't they always so cute? I think it is so cool how it all just grows. What I do is I go through and I carefully always pluck them out and dump out any remaining dirt. Now, what's so cool about, I grab one where it's not, the dirt's not falling apart. Okay, so with tomatoes, you have the first leaves, and then these are true leaves. I go by and just use my fingernails and clip off their true leaves, and then their first leaves, the first leaves, and then I clip off their first bottom true leaf. Because I'm gonna take this little guy and I'm gonna just drop this in and push it all the way down to the bottom. You can see, I know it's black in there. And then you can add dirt to the top. Now, tomatoes are, let me see, can you see how it's fuzzy? Tomatoes are fuzzy here. All those fuzzy things are essentially roots trying to grow out. Now, sometimes I'll even get tomatoes that start growing roots out the side of the plant because we're so hot and humid here. And they just grow. So you can always transplant and plant a tomato even deeper. I mean, you could really plant it, grab this guy, pull all these leaves off and plant it to this, and all down here will start developing brand new roots. That is what's so cool about tomatoes. And that's why I say you don't actually have to be that careful with them. So it makes it so easy transplanting them. So I'm just gonna do the same with all of these and then fill it up with some dirt and move on to the rest. Okay, it's sometime later and I potted up all of these down below. Now, the last time I potted up, I did a bunch of tomatoes. There's some basil, ground cherries. They're up here, and you can see I use these little cups. I like them because you can really see the roots development, and then you know you're like getting some good. But they don't really fit in these 10-20 trays. So now you can see this is one of my old trays, and it's got holes, it leaks. So these two are gonna get the new trays. These two down here are the new trays, and I am so happy with how durable these are because you can see compared to like these, they don't work good. Okay, so now if I can go slow down here, here are all my peppers and then a few tomatillos. I ended up having to use way more of these little 2-inch squares than I honestly planned, but peppers don't have as much roots as like tomatoes do. So I'm hoping these will at least last. And then back here, I have a few of the celery. And then I believe that I said that was catnip. Here's one of my cornflowers. I'm kind of regretting starting in this pot, but it's here now. And then here are the tomatoes. There's some of the dill back there. And then I did move my what's it called? Chamomile over here. I have the trays separated right now so my loofahs can get a little light from down below. And here is everything I started by seed. I ended up doing 2 little pots for each thing. Calendula, I did 4 because I do want more calendula than anything. I just have an upside down shoe bin. Basically, they're little storage bins. But to give it a little bit of dome, to give it some humidity, next week I have 2 more lights coming for this shelf. I didn't honestly know how many lights I would need, and my store doesn't sell them anymore. So they're online, they're coming, and I need it because the peppers over here need light, my tomatoes and my pineapple out here need light, and I'm working towards getting everything outside. Now, the fun of everything for me is the Farmer's Almanac says our last frost date, which is always a guesstimate. It's based on previous year's informations and all that kind of stuff. It says our last frost date is March 4th. I usually don't put anything out till St. Patrick's Day. I had to think of what holiday it was. It's around my wedding anniversary and St. Patrick's Day. It's all within usually that same few days. So what I will do starting March is all my tomatoes and peppers will start, I will start hardening them off, if I can say that. So I will take them outside in probably the early evening, let them stay outside till it gets dark, let the weather kind of drop in, and over time I will increase that time to harden them off, and then I will get them outside. And if I get them hardened off before the nights aren't fully ready, I do have my little greenhouse outside I can put them in. But usually by then, if the nights are above 50, 55, I think that's what I read last. I'm second guessing myself at this moment. But tomatoes should be fine. And by then, our nights, I don't see them dropping by 50. Our nights are already fluctuating between 40s and 60s. Sometimes they're dropping down into the low 30s. So this is where it's getting fun for us. We fluctuate for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it just like increases and before you know it, we're 100-degree weather. So that's my little seed update, my gardening thing. I can hear the dogs and my kids are going nuts. It's that time of night where they're wild before dinner. So I gotta go hurry and do dinner now. Thank you guys for joining me. Potting up and spending some time doing all this is always so peaceful for me. I love it. So I guess I'm gonna go. Bye guys. I hope you enjoyed it too.